The SR9, the last of the Marksman Rifles for which I still have yet to make a build for, but that is changing today. Now, I was kind of dreading making a build and actually using the SR9 because overall, compared to all the other Marksman Rifles in Delta Force, it is theoretically the worst of the whole lot. Pretty much the slowest base TTK among all the other Marksman Rifles. Now, I know what you might be thinking, okay, you're really not selling this weapon. I know, but I think I made something for the SR9 that is actually somewhat usable and overall pretty decent. So starting off with a blank slate here, we're going to start off by changing the barrel. Now, you do have a couple of options here. The one that is the most interesting in my opinion is the G3 platform Marksman barrel combo, but it reduces the fire rate of the weapon, and considering the weapon doesn't have a great fire rate to start off with, I really couldn't see myself equipping this barrel as opposed to the other ones. So I went ahead and put the G3 enhanced long barrel combo, which gives you plus 14 meters in range, a little bit of extra control, a little bit of stability at the cost of handling and accuracy. So install that. Then for the muzzle, getting a little bit more range here, I went with the Whisper Tactical Suppressor, which gives you an extra 8 meters in range, gives you extra control, slight cost in handling and stability, but that's pretty standard for a lot of these suppressors. Now for the foregrip, to get a little bit more stability, I chose to go with the folding grip, which gives you plus 5 stability and plus 1 handling. I felt like I was getting a little bit too much aim punch if I was reducing my stability too much, and considering I will be equipping something that reduces it even further, I wanted to bump it up right here. Now for the mag, I chose to just go with the 20 rounder, a little bit less of a penalty for the handling. If you're fine with even slower ADS time, then by all means just equip the 30 round mag, but I just chose to go with this one, and then obviously put the mag assist on here. For the trigger, so we only have one option here, equipping it or not. What it does, it basically just increases the fire rate. So without it, the fire rate on the SR9 is 261 RPM, and then if we equip it, it goes up to 307 RPM, so increasing the TTK or making it faster, depends how you want to frame it, of the SR9 quite a bit. Now, unfortunately for the SR9, it doesn't allow you to change the stock or the pistol grip, which is kind of unfortunate because that's where you get a lot of the stat boosts. But yeah, for the SR9, you just can't. So moving on to the optic here, I went with the Viewpoint 3X, which is probably my preferred medium range-ish optic here. And then for the two patches here, I simply chose to go with the Ranger handguard panel to get a little bit of extra control for those follow-up shots, so there's not as much recoil every time I fire. If you wanted to do something a little bit different from what I did and you're okay with having even worse handling, the modular handgun panel will get you a little bit of extra stability as well. As for the calibration, so starting off with the barrel, we're going with plus 50 grams and plus 10 millimeters to get more firing stability and more muzzle velocity. Then for the foregrip, we're going with plus 2 slots to get extra control. For the optic, negative 20 millimeters in eye relief. Now, in order to use this weapon, you will need to level it up to level 45 in order to unlock the 20 round mag, which is odd that it unlocks the 20 rounder after the 30 rounder, but I digress. And to unlock the SR9, you actually have to complete a mission in the armory. I can't recall what it was, so if you remember what it is, please let me know in the comment section down below. So overall, I did end up having quite a bit of fun with the SR9, but it's very similar to the PSG-1 in terms of stats. The same damage model, same headshot damage multiplier, so you could probably swap out either weapon, albeit the PSG-1 is slightly better because it allows you to change more attachments on the weapon. The SR9, you really have to play around with the really slow ADS time, honestly, and just not being able to change out the stock and the pistol grip is really unfortunate and just makes it so that, like, this weapon, there's just better options out there, but I wanted to make a build for it anyways, just because I wanted to be thorough and go through all of the different weapons in Delta Force, and this is what I ended up having the best games with, was this specific SR9 build. I had tried the build with like the extra long barrel and the resonant suppressor. I just didn't find myself playing at those ranges enough. I might have to give it another try a little bit later to see if I end up liking that more, but for the most part, I'm always playing within, like, taking engagements within like 100 meters to 200 meters, so that's why I chose to go with this to get a little bit of extra handling and not such a slow fire rate, so I can get follow-up shots a little bit quicker, which is also why I equipped the PSG-1 trigger there to get even faster fire rate, allowing me to get better follow-up shots. Now, one thing that I did notice and that I was doing a lot was aiming at stationary targets, popping off 3 shots very quickly. The target barely had time to move for the most part, and especially if they're scoped in, they wouldn't realize right away that they were getting shot at. So that was a very, very efficient way of getting kills. And obviously the muzzle velocity on it is pretty fast at like 1,014 meters per second. Even shooting at moving targets, you're definitely going to be hitting them without needing to lead them too much. But that'll be it for my SR9 video. As always, I'll leave you with a few clips of me using this specific build. If you'd like to see a weapon featured in an upcoming video. If you have any ideas, leave in the comment section down below. In any case, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.